Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cowboys Report. I'm your host, and we're diving right into some unfortunate news that's hitting the Dallas Cowboys hard right now. It's a late afternoon. Wait, actually, scratch that. It's evening already, isn't it? Time flies when you're knee-deep in NFL drama. Today, we've got a major injury update to break down, and unfortunately, it's more bad news for America's team. Tyler Booker, the promising right guard, is likely heading to injured reserve. Yeah, you heard that right, IR. He apparently suffered a high ankle sprain late in the Cowboys' Week 3 loss to the Bears. Now, I've been scouring the reports, and there's some conflicting info out there on the timeline for his recovery. Some sources are saying 3 to 5 weeks, but then you've got reliable folks like Nick Harris throwing out 4 to 6 weeks. Calvin Watkins is echoing that 4 to 6 range, and Todd Archer is right there with them. Harris even specifically mentioned the possibility of injured reserve. So, folks, this is bad. It's really bad for a team that's already dealing with some early season woes. In this episode, we're going to dissect what this means for the Cowboys' offensive line, which was supposed to be a cornerstone of their success this year. We'll talk about potential replacements for Booker, how this impacts the upcoming game against the Packers, and a whole lot more. Before we get into it, a quick heads up. I don't think this video is going to trigger a push notification for some reason. This is like the fourth video we've dropped in the last. Tyler Booker, the promising right guard, is likely heading to injured reserve. Yeah, you heard that right, IR. He apparently suffered a high ankle sprain late in the Cowboys' Week 3 loss to the Bears. Now, I've been scouring the reports, and there's some conflicting info out there on the timeline for his recovery. Some sources are saying 3 to 5 weeks, but then you've got reliable folks like Nick Harris throwing out 4 to 6 weeks. Calvin Watkins is echoing that 4 to 6 range, and Todd Archer is right there with them. Harris even specifically mentioned the possibility of injured reserve. So, folks, this is bad. It's really bad for a team that's already dealing with some early season woes. In this episode, we're going to dissect what this means for the Cowboys' offensive line, which was supposed to be a cornerstone of their success this year. We'll talk about potential replacements for Booker, how this impacts the upcoming game against the Packers, and a whole lot more. Before we get into it, a quick heads up. I don't think this video is going to trigger a push notification for some reason. This is like the fourth video we've dropped in the last 24 hours. 2 of them were live shows, and nada on the alerts. So, if you could do me a solid and share this video on your social media feeds, that would be awesome. Help spread the word about the Cowboys Report. We appreciate every like, share, and subscribe more than you know. Alright, let's talk Tyler Booker. This guy, man, he's been a bright spot on that offensive line. I thought he played pretty darn well in Week 3 against the Bears. You know, it's funny. During our live show previewing the Packers matchup, I was saying, hey, if I'm the Packers defensive coordinator, I'm stunting with Micah Parsons right at Terrence Steele and Booker. Make them prove they can handle the pressure. Well, no. Now it's even more enticing for Green Bay because it's likely going to be Steele and probably TJ Bass stepping in. The injury just flat out sucks for the Cowboys, and it does so for a multitude of reasons. We're going to spend some time here breaking down the updates, the potential replacements, and the broader implications, but the bottom line is, you're losing one of your best defensive linemen at a critical juncture. Think about it, the Cowboys are now figuring out how to operate without their starting center, Cooper Beebe, who's already sidelined, and now without their starting right guard in Booker. It's a huge blow. This offensive line wasn't exactly firing on all cylinders to begin with. It was survivable, sure, but not dominant. Brock Hoffman stepped in for Beebe, and honestly, I don't think he had a stellar game. Booker, on the other hand, showed some real promise. The tackles, Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton, have been inconsistent at best, up and down like a roller coaster. Yeah, the Cowboys have some depth on the line, which is a silver lining, but let's be real, it's not elite depth. It's the kind that gets you through a game or two, not a prolonged stretch. Booker was a first-round pick, remember? The whole off-season narrative for Dallas was about rebuilding this offensive line with young talent. Hey, we're going to invest in these guys up front. They're going to gel, take steps forward, and become a force. That was the pitch, the reason for optimism heading into the season. The offensive line was supposed to be the engine driving the run game and protecting Dak Prescott. Now, 3 games in, and you're already down 2 starters? Brutal. And let's not forget the upcoming slate. You've got CD Lamb questionable at best against the Packers, which is terrifying. Down your center, down your right guard, it's just not a good look. The timeline is 4 to 6 weeks, which means Booker's growth as a rookie is going to be stunted a bit. High ankle sprains are tricky. They linger, and when he comes back, who knows if he'll be at 100% right away. It's a bad outcome all around. So, I want to hear from you in the comments. What's your one-word reaction to this Tyler Booker injury news? Drop it below. Frustrated, devastated, worried? Let's get the conversation going. Shifting gears a bit, let's talk about how this personnel shakeup affects the Cowboys' offense, especially heading into the Packers game. You're potentially down your number one receiver in Lamb. He seems highly unlikely to play. At best, it's a game-time decision. Down your center in Beebe. Down Booker at right guard. The Packers aren't without their own injuries. I haven't seen the latest details on their O-line or Devontae Wyatt beyond what we covered in the live show earlier today, but they're banged up too. Still, this Cowboys offensive line went from a hopeful strength built on youth and potential to just survival mode. I mean, you could make a legitimate argument that Booker was the second-best lineman on the field yesterday against the Bears. He outplayed Guyton, outplayed Steele, definitely outplayed Hoffman in my eyes. Tyler Smith is a stud on the left side, providing some stability, but Guyton? He's making at least one brutal mistake per game, if not 2 or 3. It's those mental lapses that kill drives. This injury really limits what the Cowboys can do offensively. Without Lamb, your passing game is compromised. Down 2 interior starters, your run blocking suffers. And the Packers front? It's looking formidable with Micah Parsons. Wait, no, Micah's on the Cowboys, my bad. Rashawn Gary and their edge rushers are the threats for Green Bay. The Packers have a solid defensive line. They're going to rush 4 and drop 7 into coverage, daring you to beat them on the ground or with quick throws. So, the game plan has to adapt. Short, quick passes to get the ball out fast, protect Dak, and commit to the run game. But if your defense can't get stops, and let's face it, the Cowboys' D has been inconsistent, you fall into a bad game script. You're playing from behind, abandoning the run, and then it's like the Bears game all over again. A creative defensive coordinator tees off with stunts, blitzes, simulated pressures, all sorts of chaos up front. None of it's good for Dallas. It's a significant downside, no sugarcoating it. Booker sounds like he's definitely heading to IR, which starts that 4-game minimum clock. Jerry Jones has been wishy-washy on CD Lamb, said they didn't rule out IR for him, but the expectation is he avoids it. High ankle sprains are inconsistent across players. That's why timelines vary. There's even some good news potentially on Don Bland. Might be able to play. But overall, vibes are bad. I was already unoptimistic about the Packers matchup. Now I'm